Tyson here for the Stronger Olympic Lifting Series Week 4. If this is your first time stumbling upon one of my videos, you're just a wanderer of the YouTube, get collected, start here at Week 1. As always, there's a new episode every Thursday and the program is available in the description down below. It's Q&A time. Jordan Taylor, would it kill you to throw some shorts on over the skins? Jordan, I thought you might be more comfortable if I put this up while I answer your question. The answer is no, it wouldn't kill me, but why would I deprive you of such pulchritude? Seriously though, I did used to wear track pants when I did my training, but after my first competition, I realized that there was quite a significant difference in terms of feel, how the barbell felt with the brush when I had my competition attire on compared to the track pants. So I think there's some things that you should replicate in your training in preparation for competition, and one of those things that I think is appropriate is to wear my competition attire while I train so that I'm training with that same feel of the barbell. Texas Calisthenics says, do you not get sore? I assume you're talking about the good kind of sore, and the answer is yes, of course I do. Generally it's the worst in the morning. I look at this as something normal. I don't base the success of my workouts on how sore I feel, but I do feel it's part of the training. Some tips on minimizing soreness would be to get adequate amount of sleep, eat the right foods, and work on your flexibility and mobility. Blaine Taylor left quite a long comment, but he summarized his question at the end, so I'll just read that. Do your muscles and joints feel more durable because of the bodyweight training? For those that might not know, as well as my Olympic lifting, I train gymnastics and bodyweight strength training as well. I think it gives me quite a big benefit in terms of my overhead strength. Majority of weightlifters seem to struggle with the jerk. That's their weak point. But for me, if I can grind through that clean, I've basically got the lift. Dusty Breeches. Are you training above 85 kilos? I'm training in the 85 kilo weight class, hence his question. And yes, for the first time, I am training above 85 kilos at about, on average, 87. In the past, all preparation for my competitions, I've been training below 85 kilos. He's taking the glasses off. I hope that helps, guys. Keep the questions coming, as always. I'm feeling stronger than ever before. If you don't believe me, roll on with week 4. So this is the last week of my mid-phase program, and it's 90% week. The workout shouldn't take that long because it's mainly 1 or 2 reps, and that's it for about 4 sets. Some are 5 sets. And today was just one of those days. I had a day, topped off by losing a bit more than $100, which just sucks. And the day was riddled with just a lot of other things that have just made today crap. Do you guys get inspired in your workouts if you've had a bad day? Or is it the opposite effect? You don't feel like working out because you've had such a bad day? I like to think I relate to the former. It's hard to describe, but I think anyone can have days like this, but particularly people who are trying to follow what they want to do in life. You sometimes get days where things just don't go your way and you wonder if you're doing the right thing or going the right way about it. The opposite happens as well. I have days where I feel on top of the world. So I need to use this as my motivation and bust out successful lifts. That is the main point of this week, is successful lifts. If I get them all, I had a very good week without any misses. Today was either C4 or mesomorph. I went with the C4 again because C4 works, and I looked at the mesomorph ingredients. There's pretty much double the caffeine in mesomorph, and if C4 hits me and I feel it, I worry mesomorph might overstimulate and I can't concentrate and can't get the lifts. It's also about 7:45 in the evening, so maybe that double intake might also keep me up at night, which is not desirable at all. Another quick note is my membership has run out, so I can't get in the doors unless someone lets me in. That should all be fine, but that's just another inconvenience.
I should be moving to Sydney within 2 weeks, so if I can just last a little bit longer here, all should be good. Let's go get some successful lifts.
Pre-workout was C4 by Cellucor. Intra-workout was BCAA 5000 by GNC. For lifting, you pick a spot in front of you where you're going to look for when you do the lift, and that's what you focus on. During this first set, some guy stood right in front of me. Question to you guys, would this bother you? I try and let it be training, and if I can do something with such a distraction, then it makes me better at performing in competition. You can see I built mats up on the floor on either side of me so that once I did the jerk, I could drop the weight. I was pretty sure I could do the negative back down and then rack it in the squat rack, but because of that forearm injury with the negative being a really significant aggravator, I didn't want to risk it. First set I did 155 kilos, and then I bumped it up to 160, which was pretty intimidating for me because I still looked at 160 as very close to my max and still had it in my head, that feeling when I first got it about how heavy it was. Saying all that, it was tough, but it was so much easier than I expected. Actually, I did bump up the clean pull because I think 140 clean is doable for me. Clean pulls should be about 10 kilos more than your best clean. I want to be able to clean and jerk 150 kilos by the end of the year. Bonus for you, after that workout I felt like a rope climb. I did 3 sets, and here's one of the sets. It actually felt really good, but that forearm injury I was telling you about was on fire. It was all the bent arm work, so the rope climb might not have been the best idea, but far out. The rope climb along with the rings is the best exercise for the upper body. It's kind of sad. The whole time I was at this gym, this commercial gym, I don't think I once saw someone reach the top of that rope. Lift your game, guys. Post-workout was Recover X by Bioflex.
So yesterday I did my first session at 90% week, and it went amazing. You'll recall that I was speaking about the bad day I had had before I went into training, and that good session that I had basically just took it all away. It made the bitter feeling that I had for the day disappear, and I just felt great. It's one aspect that I love about training, and an aspect that will always make me love training. I'll always do it. Now, I don't usually take a pre-workout just yet. As I've mentioned before, I'm pretty sure. It's alright. The drive back is about an hour and 10 minutes, depending on traffic. So I take my pre-workout a little bit after I've left the car park, maybe a bit later. I find through trial and error, I've found that I have to take it a little bit sooner than when I get on the freeway, so it takes effect so that I'm awake on the freeway. This is such a dangerous game this guy's in.
Pre-workout was Myo Blitz by Ronnie Cole Series. Intra-workout was BCAA 5000 by GNC. The ever-present problem of catching it too high and riding it down was still apparent here. As well as focusing on this while I do the snatch, snatch balance, hang snatch, and snatch from the blocks are all going to help as well. I wanted to leave this clip in of the failed attempts just to show you the mind game that it plays. Sometimes if I miss, I feel like I need to have a break, have a little bit of a longer rest, and then go again. But sometimes, like this one here, it's actually a mental game. My mind wasn't in check before I started, so I don't feel I need a rest. I just need to recollect myself and go again. Unfortunately, that little break wasn't enough. It looks like I was just too weak to pull it up,
But what happened was I swung my head back way too much, and in terms of physics, it just was not feasible to then bring it all the way back and get under. So it actually just did not work. The movement just fell apart. Initially I thought this was going to be too heavy. I missed 3 reps, but I made them all back. I'm glad I filmed this side on. I didn't know I jumped back like that. It's not terrible, but ideally you want to work from the same spot. It didn't cause much hassle, but you can see my old habits creeping in, of the shoulders rolling forward and the elbows dropping. I also need to get the hips through more. You can see all this occur from this side-on angle. This is the same deal as the clean at 150 kilos. I'm doing my snatch pulls with 120 because I want to snatch this weight by the end of 2014. I'm focusing on the shrug and holding just that little bit longer at the top. It's exciting because if you set a goal weight for snatch or clean and jerk, usually the first thing you're going to do with it is a pull. So it's your first introduction to how heavy it's actually going to feel. Now what makes it exciting is this 120 felt very doable. Post-workout was Pro Antium by Ronnie Cole series. Because I'm training during the day here, and I also was able to sleep in because I didn't work, I didn't need to have a pre-workout today. I did, however, feel a bit weaker, so damn you placebo effect. Intra-workout was BCAA 5000 by GNC. I thought I was chalked up enough, went to the bar, what do you know? I bail. I have a normal ritual where I chalk before every single lift for my weightlifting, and for some reason I thought I was chalked enough and I thought it was acceptable to forego that chalking experience. And what ended up happening? It psyched me out and I had to go and chalk and go back to the bar. If that was to happen in competition, that would completely mess up the momentum you had in terms of concentration. I'm thankful I made this mistake during training and it's not going to happen again. I got all the clean and jerks fairly easily. The cleans just felt a bit slow. I think the push press is so important how you go into it every set. If you go into it relatively weak, it's going to be such a grind to get it up above your head. If you go into it with a very aggressive mindset, you drive up as hard as you can, full of aggression, it's very easy. Depending on your mindset and how aggressive your movements are, the same weight can either feel incredibly difficult or extremely easy. First set felt good, second set wasn't that happy with. I looked okay on film, but I dropped too quick and didn't get the hips through. I tried to accentuate the shrug as much as possible, almost stop in that position at the very top and just absorb all that momentum. There was no post-workout after this session because I was training during the day. Straight after this I went and had lunch. Pre-workout was C4 by Cellucor. Intra-workout was BCAA 5000 by GNC. Muscle snatch feels slightly improved, but I think there's still more work to be done, focusing on bringing that bar up a completely straight bar path. I missed the first power snatch. Not sure why. I think it's just consistency. Because see, when I was warming up, I spoke to someone while moving from the 50 kilos to the 70 kilos. And the time in between, it was quite a while. The form was affected. It became shocking. Lesson learned, choose a pace and stick to it in your warm-up and throughout your working sets. I still could stay over the bar a bit longer, I think. I respect this exercise so much. You're seeing me attempt 55 kilos, but I wouldn't even count that. It looks like I bounce. To me, I'm thinking, is it technique on my behalf? Or is being 100% strict just that hard? It's now at the point in my training where after only 4 weeks, I'm feeling as strong as I've ever felt before. But that's speaking in general. I don't think my front squat is there just yet. It's not as heavy as it used to be, but my technique has dramatically improved, and that was the aim. I noticed the last rep felt odd, maybe a rounded back or something. That's all I really have to say for this snatch pull. Doing it at 120. As I mentioned before, this 120 does feel manageable for a snatch. And post-workout was Pro Antium by Ronnie Cole series. That is week 4 finished, and I'm already feeling stronger than ever before. If you've been following the program, it's available free in the description by the way, you'll know that this was the last week of training for that program. My coach designated a rest week for week 5, so I've used that time to catch up with Lachlan, who recently started Olympic lifting, to discuss what it's like in the beginning and to offer some advice to anyone watching my series who is interested in starting but hasn't yet made the plunge. That's it for now. Subscribe to keep up to date with my videos, and I'll see you next Thursday for more of the Stronger Olympic Lifting series. Just to give an idea of how heavy this weight is, just look at the shock my camera was in, falling backwards like that.